Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to a Soggy Turner Stadium on the campus of Taylor University for tonight's Crossroads League women's soccer matchup between the two teams currently tied for 6th place in the Crossroads League standings. It's the visiting Bethel Pilots and the host Taylor Trojans, who come in 9-2-1 overall. Both teams 1-2-1 in Crossroads League action. Bethel 5-3-4 overall. The Pilots have struggled on the road this season again under third-year head coach Jason Freeman. 1-2-3 away from Mishawaka. Taylor 4-1-1 here at home under the direction of 15th-year head coach Scott Stan. Both teams going in different directions right now. Taylor had a tough loss here at home against Spring Arbor on Saturday night, a match that they fell 2-0 in, but one that was a lot closer than the final score would show. And Bethel comes in off of a 2-1 win over Goshen. We mentioned both teams tied for 6th place in the Crossroads League standings. They're 2 games back of 5th place and 21st ranked Grace, 3 points back of 4th place Mount Vernon Nazarene, and a point up on the Goshen Maple Leafs, who are in 8th. The top 8 teams all make the Crossroads League tournament. And Taylor trying to solidify another spot in another postseason league tournament. Bethel trying to get back there for the first time in a couple of years. Had rain showers off and on since about 5:15. They shot in here, blocked away by Brackenbury. Good stop out front. It was turned away by Dempsey. Then this pass to the middle is kicked away as Bethel tried to work it to Lena Thomas, who's second on the team in points with 10, but a wonderful shot out front. Gets kicked away here by the Trojans early on, and now Taylor gets their first offensive crack here on the goal to our left tonight. Libby Thomas, the talented freshman, makes the start tonight, the 3rd start of her freshman campaign, and she has a good run building on the right side of the box. Hits the brakes, trying to get back to her left foot, danced through one challenge, couldn't get through the second. And it was Audrey Lurch, the leading goal scorer for the Pilots, that got turned away on a save by Brackenbury, and then one they got turned away out front with Dempsey blocking it just in front of the Taylor goal. Seifert working back in as well as Taylor trying to turn over Bethel here in the defensive end. The rustling you hear is the bag that we have on our camera tonight. We are expecting rain showers to pop back up around 8:30 here local time. That would put us in the last handful of minutes of the second half. No rain showers so far, but a soggy playing surface on the new artificial turf that's about 2 months old here in Upland tonight after those off and on rain showers from about 5:15 to about 6:15 here this evening. Seifert to Dempsey, who sends it in with a big right foot. Trying to get back onside was Sarah Mullins. Flicked in, and J.L. Schubert, the keeper for Bethel, who started all 12 matches and played all but 15 minutes and change in the goal this season for BU. Drives us out of there with a right foot. Lena Thomas working it up the middle, trying to work it near side to Lurch, their leading goal scorer with 12 tallies on the season. She has scored half of Bethel's 24 goals here in 2022. A cool fall night here in Upland, Indiana, as Mullins and the Taylor back line able to clear it away for the time being. But temperatures starting to fall. We're not going to get out of the 50s here for it looks like some time after this cold front moves through with a little more rain coming in tonight. Thomas jitterbugs towards the middle, lays off to Emma Goebel. Her pass, trying to work it forward to Collins, was cut down by the Pilots. Taylor men's soccer up at Bethel tonight. First place team on the men's side are the men's Pilots. And then volleyball is at Grace after a weekend off for Aaron Luthie's bunch. BU throwing far side. Claire Massey steps in front. Deflected back to the middle. Goebel has it go off of her right hip, still able to get the ball down to her feet. And then Massey drives one forward. Sophie Snyder and Kiana Seifert converging to the middle. BU couldn't clear it away cleanly as Seifert got her shoulder in front of the clearance try of Mara Frankie. Seifert slides, blocks down the clearance, able to work it forward to Snyder, who's taken down from behind, and the whistle blows, and Taylor gets ready for a dangerous set-piece opportunity here a couple of yards outside the box. Taylor shoots on the goal to our left here in the opening half. They've climbed up now. If the poll extended into the 30s, the Trojans will be right there in the early 30s of the most recent top 25 poll. But receiving votes for the second poll as they're 9-2-1 on the year. This one 3 yards outside the box. Seifert approaches with the right foot, curls it around the three-woman roll, knocked down and almost falls into the goal, and it did not, as reaching out was Schubert with her right hand and stopped that one before it rolled across the goal line. Our assistant referee on the far side was right there in the far corner, was looking in on it as the ball slipped through the mitts of the keeper, Schubert. It almost went right between her legs and into the goal. 6 minutes into this first half, Taylor has almost struck first. Thomas hits the brakes as her defender goes flying by, and Lambden for the time being. Plays it back to Massey with a big right foot. Deflected into the 18. Down in front, Snyder couldn't keep working it forward as it bounced hard off of her shoe, but then a hard clearance is cut down by Libby Thomas. She couldn't split the two Bethel defenders successfully as the ball got taken away from her, and then all the way back up to Lurch near midfield for BU. Lurch, Mariah Dunham marking her. Pass was too far for Lurch, and Dunham sends it out across the far sideline. Bethel has the throw-in from deep in their attacking half. A quick start as Lurch let that shot go in the second minute. And then a redirect out front after the initial Brackenbury save. Now this one almost couldn't be cleared away cleanly. Now Dunham able to pooch it away with her right foot. That early chance there for BU. Thankfully, Dempsey was right in front and blocked the shot that was just outside of the 6. Seifert thought about going back to Dempsey. Her pass was cut off. Plays it forward to the center forward, Snyder. Trying to find that extra step around Harfuch. And Harfuch able to take it away and plays it out on the far side. We apologize for any mispronunciations for Bethel tonight. We're working off of what we had when the Pilots were here a couple of years ago. So if there are many names mispronounced tonight, we apologize for that. Each team with a shot here early on, each team with a save as well. As the goal kick dances up towards midfield. Massey wanted to play it forward. Now here comes Vervinkt streaking up the middle. Wanted to work it to the middle and Lurch. Too far for her. And it's Brackenbury's, the Taylor keepers, inside the 18. Brack, like her counterpart Schubert, have played and started in all 12 matches this season for the Trojans. She's allowed just 7 goals on the year. Has a goals against average of .62. Has a save percentage of almost 83%. Mullins back to Goebel. The center mid plays it up to Lauren Collins, a sophomore, having a breakout second season for the Trojans. 6 goals and 2 assists already for the 5'1" midfielder / forward. Massey, whose youngest sister Campbell signed with the Trojans a couple of weeks ago. So all 3 Massey sisters will follow in their grandparent Giggy's footsteps and pine their talents here in Upland, Indiana for the Trojans. Grandpa Giggy, a talented track and field man during his day. We'll probably see him back here next week for at least a little bit, with homecoming coming up next week. Mr. and Mrs. Giggy always usually make an appearance around the homecoming festivities. Back in a previous life, I rang up Grandpa Giggy back at the Taylor bookstore way back in the day before the oldest of the Massey grandchildren, Riley. Maybe it was Riley's freshman year. Probably before that, though. I'm old and have been here a while. Thomas able to take this one away from Mullins, but then Massey cuts it down and goes back far side again to Libby Thomas. 10 minutes into the opening half, a shot aside and a save aside as well. As both teams trying to pick up a big 3 points here. The intended target was Collins, too far for her on the pass, and it's easy work for Schubert, the keeper, coming out and snagging it out of the goal. After the early offensive push by the Pilots, Taylor has had the ball at their feet for the majority of that time since. Dempsey to Collins. Dempsey able to save it in. Had to do so with her left foot, but couldn't redirect it on to Seifert. It's going to be a tough play for the captain, Dempsey. Hannah turns around, takes that off-target pass intended for Mihut. And now here comes the track star, Seifert. Trojans' leading goal scorer on the season and one of the names on the short list for newcomer of the year in the Crossroads League. Seifert, 8 goals, 2 dimes this year, pacing the way for Taylor with 18 points. Dunham bumped from behind, and the foul whistled against Lurch. Lurch, the senior forward, 22 shots on goal, 12 have found the back of the net. A fantastic shooting percentage for Lurch. She's taken 26 shots in total, so she's not out there just reining in shots. She's taking shots from all over the joint. Also 3 for 3 on penalty kick tries this season. And had the game winner unassisted against the Leafs on Saturday. Came late in the first half, scoring in the 44th minute, did Lurch. Thomas blocks the clearance try. Snyder's got to hustle back to get it. Mullins able to take the spinning ball on and feeds it back to the trailing Collins. Tried to flip it forward with her toe and did. Thomas with Beck on her back, turns and crosses from the right side, headed down away from trouble by the BU back line. Dunham working her way forward, jostling for position with Lambden. Collins trying to make life difficult for Jordan Mihut. Good read from Seifert for Taylor to come in and knock that one down, but it bounces back near side to Mihut. Frankie was the intended target. Now Samini steals it, and now she dashes it forward to her freshman classmate, Kiana Seifert. Long through ball in, too far for Snyder, and it goes all the way into the 18 and near the 6th for the keeper, Schubert. After the flurry of activity early on, it's been a shotless evening so far. Clear skies, wind nowhere near as strong as it was when we were getting the gear set up earlier tonight. But with that rain coming in about an hour and 10 minutes or so, that wind might pick up a little again before the rain gets back. Snyder sends it in, too far for Thomas, and it's easy work for Schubert, the keeper, once again. Taylor not afraid to let it rip on shots. They've taken over 100 more shots in the same amount of matches as Bethel has. Off the hand of Snyder, and a handball called as that one bounced up and got Snyder on the left wrist and the left thumb. Free kick in the back for Siren of Bethel. Pilots in blue jerseys and shorts with white numbers and the white letters. They shoot on the goal to our right here in the first half. Taylor in the home whites with the purple numbers. And now Seifert plays around the initial defender. There's a help defender behind, wanting to dance to the middle. Slowing down that process nicely was Harfucci for Bethel. Freshman starting her 10th and playing in her 10th match of the season. Thomas forward to the sophomore Collins. Collins circles, bouncing it to the middle, having to come out to get it. He almost got all the way to the near side, and Seifert. Clearance, knife down in the middle by the right heel of Goebel. Dempsey changing the point of attack far side. Collins has it go off of her left shoulder. The 5-1 forward slips as she lost her footing, and now Bethel can build from the back. But instead, they deal a long ball through that Samini makes easy work of and passes it up through Dempsey and out of play on the near sideline, awaiting a Bethel throw-in. Goebel took the ball away for Taylor, back to Samini. Youthful center backs tonight, the freshman Samini and the sophomore Mariah Dunham for the Trojans. There's a lot of sophomores and freshmen on the field right now for TU. Dempsey throws. It went through her hands and not reach the field of play, and so now it'll be a Bethel throw-in. Snyder and Dempsey along with Goebel. And Claire Massey, the only upperclassman out there for the Trojans right now, with Snyder and Dempsey, the only two seniors. And Brackenbury as well, the junior back in the keeper. Out of the starting of 11, half or over half are underclassmen, either freshmen or sophomores for Taylor. Flicked back. Here comes one of those freshmen in Thomas. Off of a misplay by Bethel, Thomas turns and waits for reinforcements. That would be Collins, right of center, far side. Collins boogies to the middle with the defender right on her hip. Left-footed pass up to Kiana Seifert. She can let it rip from distance, measures, fires towards the goal, and just almost put it in, as getting her fingertips on it was Jael Schubert. That little stutter step and then pow off the right foot of Kiana Seifert. Almost able to put home another goal that would have been her 9th one of the season. But instead, as we approach 28.5 minutes remaining in the first half, Taylor has their first corner of the night. Far side corner, Dempsey trying to find an edge. It was flicked away from her before she could make contact. Out to the near side where Seifert gets it, trying to dance away. Excellent defense there by Mihout. Bethel signaling that should be their throw-in. It falls on deaf ears. Dempsey into Snyder. Bumped, couldn't get away from the second defender. Mullins, though, trying to hold it in for Taylor. Samini came crashing into the middle, and now back out to the space that Samini vacated comes Aubrey Vervinkt out of Plainfield, Indiana. She's cut off, and then a flag goes in the air as Vervinkt tugged and grabbed on the arm of Samini. Foul on the Pilots, their second. The top two goal scorers for both teams have all three of our shots tonight. Seifert almost lost it, now regains her footing and takes it away from Frankie. 3 Bethel players trying to track down Seifert, who sends it in with a left foot and coming off the line and snagging it was Schubert, right as both Collins and Thomas were crashing in from the middle and the far side, respectively. Less than 27 minutes remaining here in the first half. Taylor starting to turn up the wick a little bit on the offensive pressure. Long one near side. Goebel wanted to find Seifert. And the sprinter too short. Ran out of room trying to get to that one. Bethel throwing for Frankie. Mihout gives it back to her on the near sideline. This one off the bottom of the cleats of Seifert. And deflected out across the end line. It was off of whom? It was off of Bethel. Here comes Goebel jogging in and getting ready for the second corner of the night for Taylor. Athletic trainer Joe Walter and Taylor football assistant coach Al Gordon removing some trash cans from near on the sideline down below us. Short one. Off the foot of Dempsey out in near space, directing where she wants to dish it off to. That's Goebel. Sends it back into the fray with a right foot. Backside crashing in was Massey. Cut off in front of her by the back shoulder blades of Collins. And it goes out of play off the end line, across the end line, and a goal kick upcoming here once again for Bethel. Short goal kick. Touch in the middle. 3 Trojans were there. Collins had the challenge there initially on the Carnero attempt. Then a foul whistled against TU, their second. and a free kick near midfield here for Bethel. One of the other captains for the Trojans, Claire Nishala, makes her way to midfield and gets ready to check in. Flicked back in off the head of Dunham for Taylor. Easy work for her keeper, Brackenbury. Seifert jumped back and collided with Mara Frankie. But good to see Seifert pop back to her feet as she tried to throw her head back and headed backwards towards the goal to our left, which is where Taylor is attacking in the first half. Good little poke away here from Thomas, but they're outnumbered as she has Snyder working to the middle. Gliding forward and now hitting the accelerator as Thomas. A good challenge forward by Siren to poke it away. It goes out off of Bethel, but Siren comes in and she's stopped. The momentum cold there for the speedster Thomas. Claire Nishala in to replace Sarah Mullins. So another upperclassman on here for the Trojans. That's 6 out of the 11 on the field right now, with Mullins, the sophomore, exiting. Thomas. Her and her defender dance towards the end line, out off of BU, and here comes the third corner of the night for Taylor. And since it's coming on the far side, that means it'll be a Claire Massey attempt. Massey readies. Right foot outswinger. Nishala crashing in, was flicked away from her. Collins comes out to get it. She lost her footing, but still able to deal it off to the far side, and Massey back into the fray in the middle, over the intended target in Snyder. Then poked outside of the 18, and Bethel bashes out to the far side and Lurch, but too far for her, and Taylor has a throw in just outside midfield. Out off of Taylor, and Bethel gets ready to throw it in again. Just one shot for the Pilots. Taylor has 3 of them. The first 2 from Seifert, and both were on goal. Kiana's got it here at the bottom of the center circle, and now jogs up the near side. A defender on her left trying to get away from her. It's Mahout. Had 3 defenders there playing into space. The ball checks up on the wet turf and allows Snyder to get to it before it rolled across the end line. Slides as she sends it back to the middle, knocked down and in towards the goal, and pushing it wide left was Claire Nishala. Maybe someone for Bethel got a piece of it. Maybe it was Schubert, the keeper, who was diving out front. But Taylor looked to have a wonderful opportunity as Schubert punched the initial pass away, and then coming crashing down the middle was Nishala and just missed it wide to the near side post. Snyder goes to the right side, and this is Thomas. Gliding again, now accelerating, and waiting for it this time was Beck. And now it's a jog to the far corner. Thomas with the inside position checks up and lets this one go out of play. Massey throws it in from the far corner. Thomas off the first touch, gets it back, and then Massey sends it high into the sky to the middle. Off the line, almost deflecting it out and snagging it off the bounce was the keeper, Schubert. Schubert waving everyone forward and punts it up near midfield. Nishala read it. Got it off the volley to Collins, who got shoved down from behind. Goebel to Thomas. Pass was too short to make it to Snyder, but thankfully for Taylor, Grace Beck flicked it out of play. Nice throw in there from Massey, leading Thomas into space. Snyder couldn't break between 2 different defenders, and it's going to be a penalty kick here for the Trojans, as Snyder was just a step inside the far side box And with 20:28 left to go here in the first half, Taylor gets ready for their first penalty kick of the season. Two defenders were right there. Snyder stepped through, had her legs caught between them. She went tumbling down to the turf. And now it's Hannah Dempsey, the senior out of Colorado, with an opportunity for the penalty kick here to give Taylor a 1-0 lead. It's also the first penalty kick that Bethel will have to defend on the year as well. Dempsey right foot and into the back of the net. And with 20:28 to go in the first half, Hannah Dempsey has given Taylor a 1-0 lead off the penalty kick.
Goal for Taylor, number 7, Hannah Dempsey.
Snyder, who drew the PK exits along with Seifert and Thomas. So a fresh batch of forwards out there for Taylor. And Audrey Grimm, Sydney Thompson, who's played really well as of late, and Morgan Fleetmeyer, who looks to be the center forward here for the Trojans. So the two outside wingers, far side Thompson, near side Grimm. Two 5'10 sophomores that can really fly. So there's still that only shot that came back in the second minute for Bethel. And since then, Taylor's racked up 5 shots, 3 on goal, and 1 that's gotten into the back of the net on the Dempsey PK. Thompson, right sideline. Good little move to find her some space, praying to the middle. Wanted to get it off to Collins. That's deflected out of there by the BU defense, and then off to the near side and Mihout. Grimm trying to track her down. Mihout dances away. Now Grimm trying to make up for that lost space. Long pass rifled in from Carnero. Fleetmeyer leads Thompson up the far sideline, trying to turn the corner or cross. A skip off the back of the heel, the calf of her defender, and then bashed out towards the far side where it's intercepted by Vervinkt for Bethel. Dances up that far sideline and out of play. And Taylor gets ready for the throw-in as we dip below 19 and a half minutes remaining here in the first half. Thompson lost her footing on the wet turf as she had her defender pinned back behind her on the throw-in. And now it's Lurch and Dunham locking horns on the far side. Loose in the middle, Dempsey came crashing in. Mihout kept it away from her, then back into open space here with Frankie. Grimm trying to trace her down from behind, pass in the middle. Big first touch, shot was blocked down by Samini on the attempt there from Olivia Lambden. Second or third time here in the first half where a Taylor defender has vacated the near side of the field, and Bethel has found it with relative ease. This time they turned and went to goal. The other time they're a little bit too far out to make an attempt at it. Franco dances on the near side and loses it out of play. Fleetmeyer. Foot race near side with Harfuch. Now to play it goes. The sub is Caroline Monberg in to get the midfielder Goebel for TU.
7 in for the Trojans, number 20, Caroline Monberg.
Off of Bethel in the near corner. And Dempsey throws it in for the Trojans. Monberg with two defenders right there. Back near side, Dempsey. Right foot fires it in, headed straight into the air by the BU back line. One of the center backs was right there. Mihout can't get it any closer to midfield as Taylor cuts her off. Looked out by Carnero. Dempsey wanted Grimm. Carnero cut her off and able to save it just before it went out of bounds back and deeper in the defensive end. Samini tried to clear it off of Lurch, but it got between her knees and then back to Dunham, and then Taylor keeps pressing forward. Monberg She had Collins in the middle. Fleetmeyer's back is to her and couldn't get it to her as Collins was ready to restart the run again. Grimm knocks down the clearance, out of play, and Bethel will throw it in. Frankie throws it in. Grimm heads it down for Taylor. Back to Frankie, who left foots it up near midfield. Dunham volleys it in over the head of Frankie, but she has reinforcements behind her in Harfouche. Big 3 points on the line tonight with both these teams tied for 6th place in the Crossroads League standings. Just 2 points back of Grace, 3 points back of Mount Vernon Nazarene. A team that Taylor tied here on their home field to start Crossroads League play. Taylor scored in the first half, and then the Cougars came back with an equalizing tally in the second half. And remember, new rule this year, no overtime until we get to tournament time. So they played the 90, and then it was over after that, finishing in a 1-1 draw. It's kind of changed things, how we see things here. Long shot here, Brackenberg off the bounce, and it gets by her and goes into the goal from over 20 yards out. 1-1 with 15:41 remaining here in the half. That one looked to be by Julia Carnero. But a real tough one there for the Trojans as Brackenberry read it perfectly. The short hop bounced underneath her arms and it went in on the far side post. So a goal for Carnero. She was shocked when she saw it hit the back of the net, but then got super excited. First goal of the season for her. And the first goal of her career has leveled our match at 1. Just the second or just the third shot all night here for BU. So that goal comes in the 30th minute of this first half. And now can Taylor get the equalizer again? Bethel has not gone to the bench just yet. Taylor has a fresh set of forwards out there that they brought in after the PK goal for Dempsey. But a long shot for Carnero. Bounces away from Brackenbury, just the 8th goal she's allowed this season. And the 9th one that Taylor has allowed as a team, and we're back to even here with the two teams tied for 6th in the Crossroads League standings. Bethel with new life as they press in from the far side. Flick it to the middle and Lambden. Lambden able to get back to her left foot. Now presses forward with the right pass in the middle of the field. Dancing away Frankie. Snuffed away out for a long shot. Actually make that Lena Thomas. Goes far side, has a teammate wide open. It's a foot race by herself to the end line, and she'll save it. That's Aubrey Vervinkt, 21 in blue. Carnero back to Thomas in the middle. Bethel able to keep it in on the far side. This time it's Grace Beck that holds on to it. Carnero poked away from her by Collins. Thompson bashes it up near midfield to get it away from pressure. Back to the defensive end, and Bethel goes back to the keeper and Schubert. Fleetmeyer applying pressure. Long pass goes off the left hip of Monberg. She couldn't work it into Grimm cleanly. Then Monberg and Grimm could not tag team and take it away from Frankie, who spun away out of the scrum with the ball at her feet. Carnero pressured from behind by Thompson, keeps her footing, but her long pass stepped in front of, and Massey cut it off. But a foul is called on Thompson all the way back near midfield after the initial hand fighting between her and Carnero. There's a late whistle after Bethel had already lost the possession. She got her footing, lost it, got it back, and then flicked it forward, but it went right to the feet of Claire Massey, and that's when play was stopped. Here's the aforementioned Massey. Heads the free kick back forward. As Fleetmeyer, or as we make it Nishala, try to work it to the middle. Nobody home for Taylor, so Bethel bashes it in deep. It bounces out of play, And it'll be a deep throw in for Taylor that Massey waits a little time throwing back in. Thompson loses her footing. Bethel with possession back as Thomas ran through her to get to the ball. Here's Mihout, who's been very active here this evening for Bethel. Her pass deflected away by Nishala. Back to Mihout, who gets through the jostling of Nishala. Through the middle, Samini cuts it. Samini lets it roll through her feet. Brackenbury quickly whips it out to the near side and Dempsey. Dempsey up the near side. Fleetmeyer trying to find the accelerator in a foot race here with Harfouch. Fleetmeyer the first one to it. Nice little move to get to the end line. Cross with the left foot. Knocked down inside the 18. Flicked back near the top. Nishala was a step too late from turning it on goal. And Mihout runs in from behind Dempsey and keeps it in Bethel's favor here in their defensive end. Lambden. Monberg came in, shoved her off the path and took the ball away and then flicked it out. 11:20 and counting here in the first half. 1-1 our score after the Dempsey penalty kick and the long goal from Carnero that bounced away and bounced underneath the elbow, the right elbow, of Taylor keeper Hannah Brackenbury on one that was about 20 yards plus out. About 23, 24 yards away on the near side of the field was the distance on the Carnero goal. Lurch heads it back in near the 18. Nobody home in blue. And so Dunham flicks it away for Taylor. Grimm up to Monberg, into space. Grimm trying to get back into it. Ushered out on the near side by Frankie. And then drilled in back to the offensive end by Bethel, and Lurch might have a step on Dunham. That ball curled back in. Dunham got a block on it on the Lurch attempt on the shot. And now it's the first corner of the night for Bethel. You can hear Bethel head coach Jason Freeman. Well, he was telling Mara Frankie to make it a good service, but now it's going to be Carnero to take it from the near side corner. Low right-footed outswinger off the knee of Collins and out into space where Fleetmeyer will sprint on top of it for Taylor as now the folks wearing white race forward. Long ball through. Collins can really leg it out. The keeper, Schubert, comes out, but doesn't get a good clearance on it. Grimm knocks it down, touching into space as now Schubert retreats back into the goal. Bethel pleads for a handball that does not come. You'd wonder if that ball would have checked up just a little bit more, maybe rolled back to Collins. She could have tried to dial one up from long distance instead. Good recovery there by the Bethel defense to turn Taylor away as we hit 9 minutes left to go in the first half. Thompson, good pressure to take the ball away up to Fleetmeyer, but she's going to lead Thompson too much as it goes out of play on the sideline across from us. Bethel a little bit too far, about 10 yards ahead of where they need to throw it in, so they back up, and it's off of two bounces to Carnero, who has her arm pinned around Collins, the Taylor defender marking her. Dunham underneath the feet of Lurch. Massey goes back into the 18 and her keeper Brackenbury for Taylor. Brack, big right foot. Over the head of the cutting Thompson, bounces into the attacking end for Taylor. Dink down there by Siren. Carnero bodies through Collins, keeps the ball at her feet far side. Massey cuts her off and flicks it out to the seats across from us. You can hear Taylor head coach Scott Stan barking out instructions down below us. Ever since that equalizing tally for Bethel, they've played with new, rejuvenated energy, much like what we saw after the opening whistle and the opening kickoff here tonight. They had a quick scoring opportunity in the second minute. Lambden almost had it taken away by Monberg. Good hustle by Mihout, but couldn't get there, ran out of room And Dempsey quickly throws it in for Taylor on the near sideline. 1-1 as we approach 7 minutes remaining in the opening half. Over the head of Grimm on the pass from Nishala. Taylor has not been as precise as they need to be here in the last handful of minutes. And the Bethel energy has kind of thrown Taylor off their groove a little bit here. Monberg turns and passes it right to Frankie for the Pilots, and then BU quickly goes back to the defensive end where they set up shop. Back up the left side, Thompson. She and Beck collided. Bethel keeps the possession, and then they give it away. Pass was too bouncy to handle there for Audrey Lurch. Nishala faked to her right, then lost her footing as Lena Thomas was able to win the ball back for Bethel. Long pass near side, too far for Mihout. Dempsey legs it out, and now she'll let this one wisely roll across the sideline, and it's a Taylor throw-in. As Taylor looking for their first shot in a while. Fleetmeyer battling for position with Carnero, who has it here for BU. Passing forward, deflected off of Collins. Back left of center, good find Alina Thomas. Long range try, Brackenbury dives, and she get her hand on it as it went wide of the near side post. But the offside flag was in the air anyway. And Taylor has the free kick from the defensive end as Emma Martz and Autumn Bodwin, come in here for BU. They replace Lambden along with Mihout. Deflection keeps it going in Bethel's offensive half. Martz had it, spinning away from pressure as Vervinkt. Into space, far side. Dunham hustling to it, now boxing out Lena Thomas. Now it stays in, and both players go tumbling down, and Dunham keeps the ball at her feet, and now Taylor works it from the back on the far side. And to build it from the defensive end, Thompson bashes it in. This one had too much heat to get to Grimm, as backpedaling into the 18 was Schubert. Good job by Grimm to keep finishing the run anyway after seeing Schubert have one go between her hands and between her legs, and almost resulting in the first goal of the night here in the first handful of minutes. Collins to Grimm. Reversing the point of attack in the air. Thompson tried to head it down straight out of the air, but went right off the leg of a defender. Massey steps in, collides with Beck. It's off of Claire, and Bethel's got the throw in far sideline. .405 and counting here in this first half. Nice little footwork there from Thompson for Taylor. To elude a defender. Big first touch from Nishala. Allowed Bethel to get it back for the time being. 5-4 shots in favor of Taylor. But Bethel's got the goal in the run of play. Taylor's goal coming off of the PK. As we approach 3.5 minutes left to go in the first 45 minutes here tonight. It is a 1-1 score between Taylor and Bethel. The two teams tied for sixth in the Crossroads League standings with a big 3 points on the line tonight. Just a point up on 8th place Goshen. 2 points back of Grace, who's in 5th, and 3 points back of Mount Vernon Nazarene. Indiana Wesleyan, Marion, and Spring Arbor have kind of separated themselves from the pack a little bit in those top 3 positions. They're the top 3 best-ranked teams in the Crossroads League this season. But the top 4 teams all host a first-round match. Taylor trying to pick up 3 points here and put themselves back into the conversation for a top 4 spot. Dempsey's left-footed pass didn't have enough juice on it. Frankie read it, intercepted for BU. Harfuch forward. Dempsey intercepts her pass for TU. One spit away from Bodwin. Samini couldn't get away from Bodwin, and now Bethel presses up near side. Bodewin waiting for reinforcements. Pass to the middle. Off the line. Brackenbury snags it with the mitts, as Vervinkt was the one that Bodewin was looking for BU. Fleetmeyer headed it back, got it back at her feet after Bethel tried to press it forward. We approach 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Nice through ball to Grimm, who cuts in from the left side of the box. Her centering pass is flicked away aggressively by Carly Harfuch. But it goes out across the end line, and Taylor gets ready for the fourth corner of the night. And with Goebel getting some much-needed rest on the bench, Claire Massey jogs in. And we'll get ready to take the corner from the near side of the field. Normally Claire takes the ones from the far side. That's on the left side of the goalie. But with no Goebel, Massey comes in and takes it here from the near side. To the left of Schubert, and the goal to our left. To the right of Schubert, I should say here. Less than 90 to go here, 90 seconds to go in the first half. Backside deflection, flicked away from Monberg. Off of Bethel, and we have less than 80 seconds remaining in the first half. One last push here looks like for Sydney Thompson. Nobody home in white inside the 18. Fleetmeyer deflected it as she races to the end line, but it bounces away. And we had a minute to go here in the first half. It's a goal kick for Bethel and Schubert. Mara Franke, the senior midfielder. You can hear her trying to encourage her teammates for the final 40 seconds of this first half. 1-1 our score. We'll see if Bethel or Taylor have one last push in them, as it's Lena Thomas coming away with the goal kick. Pass way off target for anyone wearing blue, and now Dunham pushes it back up with 25 seconds remaining before halftime. Thompson throws it in with 19 to go before the break. Big right foot in, trying to find it through the night sky. Schubert, and makes the catch like a punt returner on Saturdays or Sundays. Bethel head coach Jason Freeman puts both arms out, tells Schubert just to calmly and safely play this one back in. And that brings the first half to a close. Both teams started with some offense early. Taylor gets the penalty kick in the 25th minute. The 30th minute goal goes to Bethel. The first one of the season, and the first one of the career for freshman Giulia Carnero. And after one half of play, it's Taylor 1, Bethel 1 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes. First half stats brought to you by BSN Sports. Taylor outshot Bethel in the first half 5-4. Each team with multiple shots on goal. Bethel with 2, Taylor with 3. Bethel's first one came 2 minutes in, and then they got the equalizing tally in the 30th minute. We are tied at 1 as we just start the second half here from Turner Stadium. Wind not really a factor here, but we're going to keep our eyes on. There is some rain showers that look to be about 28 minutes away or so. And a foul is called here against Sarah Mullins as she took the worst for wear on that one, colliding with the Bethel player in front of her, and then a little bit slow to get back to her defensive position, kind of favoring that right arm a little bit, but able to get back there and start defending once again. The out-of-town scoreboard also brought to you by BSN Sports. The 12th-ranked Taylor volleyball team up 2-0, 25-20 and 25-22 on the road at Grace. And the men's soccer team at first place, Bethel. They're ranked top 20 in the country. The pilots of the men's team lead the Taylor men 1-0 in a 16-0 shots advantage for the pilots up there in Mishawaka. 5 fouls for Bethel, 3 of them for the Trojans. Pretty clean first half here from Turner Stadium. We mentioned the rain. Wind not really a factor when we were talking with head coach Scott Stan of Taylor earlier today as Thomas steps in, losing her footing was Vervink. Looked for a foul that doesn't come. Snyder comes cutting in from the right edge of the box. Couldn't get there and couldn't get a shot onto the frame. And then a leaping Thomas blocks it with the back of her knee. Out of play, a Bethel throw-in. But when we talked with head coach Scott Stan earlier today, we were talking about the weather that was looking to be coming in. Yesterday, the forecast called for thunderstorms with lightning in them. That would have been a long night here in Upland, Indiana. Mullins run into by Carnero, and now Taylor has their palms to the skies looking for a foul that does not come. Carnero, the goal scorer, as Mullins shoves her from behind, and then Mullins gets called for the foul, and she disagrees with it. Taylor head coach Scott Stan trying to plead the case. That's exactly what happened to Mullins just a few moments ago. But we talked with the leader of the Trojans in his 15th season, and he mentioned about with that weather coming in, the potential for it to potentially have the wind be as it was north of 20 miles an hour when the sun was out earlier today, and it was hard to walk here at the top of the press box, and it was pretty effective down there on the field too. So much so that whichever way you were going, if you had to wind at your back, that would definitely have been an advantage if we would have started this game, let's say at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, even around 6:15 or so. But about 6:30, the rain stopped for the most part, or actually stopped pretty cleanly, and that's what took the wind out of here with it. Could have been a really different match here so far. Pretty calm conditions, dry so far from the skies, not dry out on the turf. Is that glistening a little bit still with the dew and the rain that was off and on for about an hour and change or so. As here comes Seifert. Trying to get to that dominant right foot, left edge of the box, rising shot over the crossbar and out of play. First shot of the second half for either team. So we played just 4 minutes of action here in half two. That equalizing goal for Bethel by Giulia Carnero, her first of her Bethel career, has really brought new life back to these Pilots after the PK for Dempsey in the 25th minute. Gave Taylor that 1-0 lead, but ever since, Bethel's been the much more aggressive team. Mullen stops in the middle of the field, gives off near side to Thomas, who plays into space to the streaking Claire Massey. Kicked away from her by Aubrey Vervinkt. And then Massey wasting little time throwing it into Thomas. Dancing, trying to get to the end line. Nice move back to her left foot. Got away from the first defender, couldn't shake away from the second. Mullins gets bodied, and the ball kicked out of play wisely by the Bethel defense and Grace Beck. Massey into Mullins. Back out to Massey. Centers the right foot. Volleyed away by Harfuch. Dunham, who's been on the hip of Aubrey Lurch, the leading goal scorer for the Pilots at 12 tallies on the season coming in, had half of the 24 goals before play began tonight, has had Dunham as her shadow since the opening whistle rang. Taylor kicks out, and BU gets ready for a throw-in just in front of their own bench. Massey couldn't clear it cleanly, deflected it back. Dunham hustles to the end line and able to nub it out of play on the near side to prevent a corner kick here for BU. Bethel shoots on the goal to our left here in the second half. Wind that is blowing is not very dominant, blows out towards the far corner across from us. Service to the middle. Dempsey cuts off the attempt from Vervinkt, but Vervinkt able to hold it in. Big second touch, gets her some space near side of the box, centering ball, flicked forward, off the line, and Brackenberry watches it scoot out of play. One of the Taylor defenders came forward, had a challenge on it, but it looked like it was Lurch that poked that one wide for the Pilots. And now it's BU applying pressure in the back against Taylor. Thomas now accelerating up the near side. Into space, cutting into center forward Sophie Snyder. Trying to find the edge around Siren. They both fight for position. The ball goes out off the far corner flag, and it's a Taylor corner. Good hustle there by Snyder to get locked up with Siren and force the corner kick upcoming for TU. This is corner kick number 5 for Taylor tonight, and the first one here in the second half. A low missile kick in from Massey goes off the heels, or the shins, excuse me, of her teammate Libby Thomas. Over the end line, and a goal kick here for Bethel. Not what Taylor wanted to see on their first set piece of the second half. Two saves in the first half for Schubert. Massey reads the pass, knees it down. Goebel caught between two players. Lurch plays it back for BU. Good read from Thomas, trying to find the edge as she fights for position with Siren. Siren boxes her out. Thomas stays right there on her hip. Continues to work back with her up towards the end line to our right. Now Bethel comes free up towards to Vervink near midfield. Got it away from Dunham. Samini comes in, touching it away from Lurch, and plays it out into the Bethel bench, but a good recovery by the freshman Samini to not allow Lurch a home free run up the near side. Massey back to the middle. Mullins has been bumped and shoved and collided into since the second half whistle rang out. Taylor gives it away in the defensive end. Frankie pirouettes. Running through the challenge is Mihout. Top of the box in the middle. Lurch bumped. But Lurch able to work her way back and give it off again to Mihout. Frankie. Touched away by Seifer, but it bounced off and went off Kiana's forearm. And the handball with less than 36 minutes left to go here in half number 2 sets up Bethel with a free kick on the far side of the field. Frankie looks to be on top of it. Big right foot into the middle of the box. Lurch is there. Taller than any player in the box. Off the miss, and Vervinkt volleys it high and wide around the football goalposts. Olivia Lambden aggressively trying to direct where she thought one of her teammates should have been, or something there, standing in the middle of the field. A good scoring opportunity there for the Pilots as they tried to connect with a very tall Audrey Lurch. And then a good attempt there for Vervinkt. He's had some traffic in front of her and lifted it too high. Thomas swoops it forward to Snyder. Good pass near side, instep to Massey, but then it got caught between her feet and it deflected out of play. Out off of Taylor. And it's a Beck throw in near sideline. C. Massey in front of it. Snyder, big first touch. Put it right back at Bethel's feet. Samini sweeps it forward as she and Lurch collide, and Lurch, the one whistled for the foul. Lurch collided with Samini, and a quick restart here for Massey as Samini leaked to the middle of the field. Long one intended for Seifert. Volleyed away by Bethel. Collins gives way to Goebel for Taylor. Quick dish off Snyder, Mullins, and then near side to Libby Thomas. Thomas works back to her left foot. First touch went right to the feet of Mullins in tight quarters. Carnero watching Mullins' every move. Mullins to Thomas. Poked away from her, but Mullins able to lay it back to Massey, then back off to Mullins again. Big right foot from Mullins into Collins, who tried to redirect it. Someone from Bethel got a piece of it, and the Pilots clear it away up the near side. It's Siren who got her foot on that one. As Autumn Beaudoin ready to enter here early on for BU. Massey knocks it down, passing to the middle, right to the feet of Lena Thomas of Bethel. Dempsey comes in from the outside back spot and keeps the ball in Taylor's favor. Mullins looking for help, but everyone in front of her is defended. Leads Thomas up the near side. Now Thomas trying to get around the other number 12 in the field, Beck. Thomas able to get through the initial challenge of Beck. Up, curling pass near side, right to the feet of Massey. Stops and starts. Vervinkt leaning on her left shoulder. Massey deflected it twice, got it back as she volleys for position with Vervinkt, who turns and kicks it out just outside of the flag in the near side corner. The throw in for Taylor. Thomas on the end line and kicked away again by her number 12 counterpart Beck. Massey throws into Snyder. Wanted to touch it down into space. Did, but Carnero right there for BU. Big second touch. Goebel made her dish it off early. And now it's Lambden carrying it up near midfield for Bethel. She wanted Lurch. Her back was to her. Goebel heads it down near side to Massey. Deflecting to the middle, a little mistouch there from Harfuch, and now the speedster Seifert has it. Had Collins off to her left, but couldn't see her, as she was bracketed on either side by those wearing blue and gray. Vervinkt forward through Dunham, Samini, nobody home in blue, and Brackenbury scoops it up for the Trojans and carries it back to the middle of the 18. Taylor with the white jerseys and shorts, purple numbers, and the gold stripes on the front of those uniforms. Bethel with the gray shorts, the blue jerseys with the white numbers and the white letters. 7-7 our shots here so far in the match tonight. 2 in the second half for Taylor, 3 after halftime for Bethel. And now Seifert takes away. And now the sprinter showing off the wheels. Big second touch. Frankie stopped it. And then Seifert collides with the defender Harfuch. And Harfuch goes sprawling down to the turf after the aid of Seifert. And again, Bodewin still waiting to enter here near midfield. It's the keeper Schubert with the free kick. And Dempsey drives it back to the offensive end. Snyder found an extra gear, trying to get around the defender Harfuch. Hits the brakes, back to the trailing Collins. Touch to her left foot, bodied out of the way by Carnero. Her pass cut down by Seifert of Taylor. Mullins, who's been beat up a lot here in the second half, able to get it off to Goebel, to Thomas, and now Massey. Back to the middle of the field where Collins gets a big first touch. Massey to Thomas, who called for it. Quickly looked over that left shoulder to see where the defender was. Thomas centers it here. Off and punched down by Schubert. And the Trojans might be able to start trying to dial it up here. Schubert didn't even catch it cleanly. She had to hit the gloves and then punched it right down into the turf. And we'll see if Taylor can start throwing some more traffic in there on Schubert, who, remember, already has had, as this punt lands way short of midfield, but able to get right to the feet of Vervinkt. Remember, one of the first shots, maybe the first shot of the match for Taylor, almost went into the back of the goals and went through the hands of Schubert on a shot from Seifert, went between her legs, and she reached out and pawed that thing cleanly with her right hand on the goal line to our left. Snyder, the center forward, comes back to get it. Left foot's one to Seifert. Onside as she races up the left side. Now it's the brakes, trying to set up again back to her right foot. Mitch touched it. Now Seifert pokes it through. She runs through 2 defenders, race to the end line. Seifert able to stop it and play it back in. Just inside the 18, deflected back out near the top of the box. Snyder fighting for position, and it's sent away aggressively by Bethel up to midfield and Lurch. Samini was right there and able to poke it away from her. And now finally, Autumn Bodewin along with Emma Martz enter for the Pilots.
And number 15, Bowden.
So Lambden exits, and Lurch, the center forward and the top goal scorer for the Pilots, with 12 of them out of 25 now on the season, comes off the field for the first time here tonight with 28 minutes and change remaining in regulation time. Remember, no overtime here in the regular season. That's a new rule this year. Overtime will come back into the playoffs. You'll do 2 10-minute overtime sessions if need be. It's goal and goal. And after the 2 10 minutes, then we go to a shootout. But that's in the playoff time. This is the regular season, so that clock has got no more time left in it outside of the 27:52 that it reads right now. March of the fresh legs. Got away from the challenge of Massey. Thomas comes back to try to keep it going in Taylor's way. It went off of the Taylor freshman, and Bethel throws it in from the near sideline. Frankie, you can hear the vocal leader for these Pilots shouting out encouragement and directions to her teammates. Trying to direct the offense is the outside back. Thomas volleys it forward. Snyder trying to find it in the air. Backpedaling with Siren, and she headed it down for Bethel. Mullins with it in the center circle for Taylor. Up to Seifert with Frankie defending her. Back to Mullins. Seifert wanted it right back, but Taylor didn't give it to her. Instead, they reversed it to the near side. Thomas, who can really scoot, has got Beck on her left hip. Thomas plays it back to her left foot near the top point of the box. Bouncing through. Collins had to go between her legs, but it couldn't find Seifert on the backside as Frankie poked it away from the Trojans' top goal scorer. Long ball near side. Dunham racing. And lays it on back to Brackenbury inside the Taylor 18. Dunham, pressure comes, curls it around the defender in front. Mullins with no one around her. Up to Thomas, who also has some room to work. Thomas. They're going to give her left foot as she puts her foot in the ground. Thomas, stutter step to set herself to the top of the box. Thomas trying to go all the way to the goal and just lost it after she got back inside the 18. Bethel just opened the doors and asked Libby Thomas to waltz her way through. And then at the last moment, they slammed the door shut. Seifert, end line. 1v1 with Frankie. Fades away. This shot got deflected on the way there. Snyder heads it forward, and another late bounce that Schubert does not play that cleanly. First shot on goal the second half here for the Trojans. Third stop of the night for Schubert. But she was moving to her left and on her heels. The header from Snyder took a late hop in front, and Schubert punched that one down in front of her, and thankfully for her, nobody in white was right there inside the 6. Collins finds Thomas, excuse me. The two 12s have been locking horns all second half. Massey's ready to skip in and fire it in. Now Snyder cuts in for about a 15-yard throw. Taken away off of Snyder, and in is Chloe Crompton for BU. She replaces Vervink, the freshman. Thomas and Massey say it should be going their way, but it went off of Thomas, it looked like, as Bethel tried to work it into the fresh legs of Crompton. Throw it into her again. Massey right there on her back hip. Goebel played it between the legs of the defender, Thomas. But then Bethel drives it into their attacking end. Nobody in blue and home to right at midfield. As Mullins dances with it, now gets it back from Goebel to Thomas. Ran through one challenge, runs through the second. She almost ran the 50 yards clean last time. Now Thomas accelerates, shoots far side, and she just missed it on the far side post as Libby Thomas trying to single-handedly take this thing over in the last 3 minutes. Audrey Grimm comes in to get Thomas. And that has got to be a sigh of relief from the Bethel sideline as Thomas has put the Bethel defense on their heels for the last 3 minutes. And you can see Thomas a little bit out of breath as she makes her way back to the bench to get a much-needed breather. But at the first run was where Bethel just kept moving away and just kept asking her to go to her left foot towards the middle of the field, which Thomas gleefully did. And then this one, she was just running away from people and almost ripped home a missile to the far side post. Snyder wanted to turn and get to the end line. She was cut off by Harfuch. But then Harfuch clears it away on the far sideline. Dempsey, far sideline. Bethel able to clear. Goebel away from Carnero. Nice pass. Here's Seifert on the left edge of the box. Back to Goebel. Left foot in towards the middle. Bouncing away once. Up top, here comes Collins, and that one too high over the crossbar and through the football goalposts. Second shot of the night for Collins.
Thompson for the Tigers.
As Olivia Lambden back in for BU as she replaces Grace Beck. Free kick or goal kick for the keeper, Schubert. Dunham, big right foot forward, bounced away from her teammate Collins. Massey volleys it out of the air after knocking it down with her knee. Touchdown into space by Snyder. Snyder trying to hustle back. Crompton gives it away, and now it's at the feet of Snyder for Taylor. Snyder curls it into the 18. Collins making a run. Schubert dives out and snags it away before Collins could do anything with it. Schubert flew out of the air and snagged that one on the bounce as Collins was lurking there just inside the 18. Dempsey heads it down, flicked back far side by Thomas. Minute to Carnero, the goal scorer for Bethel, all the way near side to Crompton. Seeing her first action of the match tonight here in the second half. That has 21:40 left to go in it. Mullins tumbles down. Bethel still with possession. Mihout into space. Nobody in home for BU. Then Massey to Goebel. Up to Grimm, who has to come back to get a little touchdown to Mullins. Snyder into space to Grimm, trying to use that 5-10 frame. Grimm, three defenders around her, now angling right side. Wants it from distance, and it's in! What a long-range shot for Audrey Grimm from 20 yards out, and Taylor regains the lead with 21:11 to go in this one.
Goal for Taylor, number 19, Audrey Grimm.
So Dempsey on the PK, Grimm from long range. And it's 2-1 Trojans once again.
7 for the Trojans, number 12, Wendy Thomas, and number 11, Claire Shallow.
Third goal of the year for Audrey Grimm. We'll see if they give an assist on that one for the Trojans, but they have regained a 1-goal advantage, and Libby Thomas back onto the field for Taylor, trying to work it on to her classmate Seaford. Off the deflection, Libby gets it back on the far side of the field. Thomas works back to her right foot. Pass behind Seaford. Here comes Grimm crashing in, but the ball was a little bit too far for her, and Schubert scoops it up. Sydney Thompson ready to check in for TU. This one off the head, played back in. Seifert flicks it into space. Thomas was a little bit there, a hair too late as Gabby Siren came in, took Thomas down, helps her back up. But they're going to get Thomas for the foul, and the Taylor students disagree with that vehemently. Each side with 6 fouls here tonight. As we played a half hour here in half number 2. 2-1, the Taylor lead. Nashala newly in for the Trojans, who came in with Thomas after the Grimm tally. Beck cut off by Grimm, and she's able to play it off of Beck as well. So Taylor gets the throw in, and Thompson enters for the Trojans. She'll go take that far side outside forward spot and give Seaford a breather.
Coming in for the Trojans, number 25, Sydney Thompson.
Thompson had been so close to getting a couple of goals in the first handful of home matches this season. And has scored through and broken through with 3 goals and 2 assists since. It's been a real important offensive factor for Taylor off the bench. Thomas has her jersey wrapped around her body by the defender Beck. Long pass in. A couple players trying to find it over their head. Thompson in the middle of the field wants to turn back to her right foot. Her shot is blocked. Collins lets the defender go in front of her. And then the ball poked away by the BU defense. Good job by Nashala to come in. And it's a foul against Bethel, as it was Collins for Taylor that took the worst for wear of it. 7th foul against Bethel as Claire Massey comes to the near side to have a quick chat with Taylor head coach Scott Stan before this very dangerous set-piece opportunity. Veteran move for the junior Massey, running to the near side to ask head coach Scott Stan what to do. With the injured Collins trying to get her bearings and kind of shake her leg out a little bit. As Massey stands down below us. 30 yards away from the goal to our right. With a 3-woman wall 10 yards away. Taylor looking for the insurance tally here. Just the right of center. Massey right foot into it. Around the wall to the top shelf, and it just sails over the crossbar by about a foot or so. Excellent looking try there from Massey trying to go upstairs against Schubert. Subs in for Bethel. Mihut along with Vervinkt.
Back in for that one. Number 6, Sneaky. Number 21, Ruby.
Time dwindling away here for the Pilots as they trail 2-1. They've taken 3 shots here in the second half. None of them have been on goal. And their leading goal scorer lurched back in there for the Pilots, but it's been a tough row to hoe here for BU. Long pass. Beth Taylor tried to set it up for Grimm, headed away by the Bethel defense. Nishala, the midfielder, working her way back. Massey pokes it away from Lurch. And this volley by Bethel goes right back to Grimm. She's got Thompson on the far side, couldn't get it to her, comes back near side to the sprinting Lauren Collins. Inside the 18, right edge of the box, goes back to middle. There's Grimm, far side, and it's in! Audrey Grimm makes it 3-1 Trojans as both second half goals belong to the sophomore forward.
Taylor's goal by number 19, Audrey Graham, assisted by Lauren Collins.
So that goal in the 73rd, close to the 74th minute. Here for Grimm. Goals 3 and 4 for her on the season have given Taylor this 3-1 lead. Both have gone to the far post. As Carnero got taken down, inspecting her left ankle as Taylor whistled for the foul. 7th one on TU tonight. Each team with 7 fouls, no cards here so far this evening. Short free kick played to the near side and Lambden. Got away from both Massey and Grimm. Thomas shoved off the ball by Carnero. And play on whistled by our lead official, Doug Ferguson. Collins poked away from Lena Thomas all the way to the other end for Taylor. Thompson racing after it, but the first one to get to it is Harfouch here for BU. Nishala throws that left leg in there, works it off to Thompson. Now into open space, and nobody is going to slow down Sydney Thompson. She angles the middle. She wants a rising shot, then misses the upper 90 on the near side. Emma Goebel back in for Taylor along with Monberg. So Goebel returns to get Nishala. Monberg makes her first second half appearance. She gets Mullins. Thompson shot out of a cannon, and the outside back on the far side was nowhere to be found. There with Thompson crashing in. 3-1 Taylor, less than a quarter hour to go here in this one. Nice play from Thomas to take the ball away clean. She's got Thompson to her left and feeds it to her. Thompson one touch in. She steps in with her right foot to the post, and it's in! Thompson makes it 4-1 Trojans, and the goals pouring on here in the second half.
Goal for the Trojans, number 25, Sydney Thompson, assisted by number 12, Libby Thomas.
So Libby Thomas on the goal. It's been 3 straight here for the Trojans in about a 7-minute window. Grimm, and then Thompson. And after the penalty kick, the whole Bethel 11 huddles up and chats with their keeper, Schubert. For Thompson, it's her 4th goal of the season. Thomas gets her 2nd assist of her freshman campaign. And that's back-to-back shots. 3 out of the last 4 shots for Taylor have gone in. And 3 Grimm tied up with Beck. Both players go tumbling down, and they get Grimm for the whistle. And the Taylor students that have had a lot to cheer about here now have something that they do not cheer about. Let's make it 3 out of the last 5 shots for the Trojans have found the back of the net, and their last 3 shots on goal have all gone in. 2 to the far post, 1 to the near post. Grimm, and then Thompson. And a foul against Bethel. And Taylor has the free kick from the throw-in with less than 14 minutes remaining here in regulation time. A big 3 points on the line tonight, with the 2 teams tied for 6th in the Crossroads League, locking horns here on the Turner Stadium turf tonight. Mihut from the far side for BU. They're looking for their first shot in over 20 minutes. Goebel wanted to come to the middle. She was cut off, curls it around the defender, and finds Thomas. Thomas couldn't get to Thompson initially. Got through the challenge, a pirouette away from Lambden, and now to the open space. And now Sydney Thompson with 2 different players in the middle to deal to. Does so to Grimm, comes back onside, nobody home, but Grimm whistled for the offside, as coming all the way off the line was the keeper, Schubert. Monberg would have laid it back to Goebel, too far for her to get to. This one sent in off the hands, kicked away by Brackenberry, but it looked like it went off the hand of Dunham inside the 18, and it did. And so a penalty kick upcoming here for the Bethel Pilots. They're 3 for 4 this season. Their leading goal scorer, Audrey Lurch, a perfect 3 for 3 on the season for BU. And with 12:30 left to go here in the second half, Bethel down by 3. They really need this one to go here. First penalty kick that Taylor will try to defend here this season. The 5th one for the Pilots. Lurch has made all 3 that she's taken. She stands over it here. Brackenberry readies. The whistle blows. Lurch approaches. In, and just missing it on the kick was Brackenberry. Lurch puts it home for her team-leading 13th goal of the season. Both teams with a penalty kick goal tonight. And the second Grimm goal and the Thompson goal looming even larger here, as Taylor's lead trimmed down to 2. Making her first appearance in many weeks is Rachel Landis back out there for TU, replacing Mariah Dunham. So that PK comes in the 78th minute. Brackenberry gets to the near side, and Lurch went right away from where she leapt from. Taylor kicks it out near side as Landis takes the outside back position across from us, so slide Dempsey into the middle here with Simony for the 2 center back positions. 4-2, the Taylor lead now after the PK from Lurch for her team leading 23rd tally of the season, back to half of the goals scored by Bethel this year. BU plays it back to Schubert. Thompson applied the pressure. Forced her to get it away early. Goebel heads it down to Thomas. Thomas has been great here in the second half. Wide open spaces for Grimm. Steps inside the 18. Back to the middle. There's Collins knocking it. She turns and shoots! And just pushing it over the crossbar was Schubert by her fingertips. There was nobody in the zip code of Audrey Grimm as Taylor tried to score on their 4th straight shot on goal. Corner near side here for Claire Massey. Massey does let it rip. Flicked away by the BU defense. Dempsey heading it out near side with Lambden hot on her heels. Back into space and Massey. Nobody wants to defend Grimm again, but Massey's pass couldn't curl it in, and it goes out cleanly off of the junior's foot. Bethel head coach, 3rd year, Jason Freeman heaves the ball in up the near sideline. But the Bethel throw-in goes right to Taylor's Claire Massey. Pass into space. Monberg hesitated a little bit as Salome Hernandez came in. Collins to Thomas, played it on through, but nobody in white was behind her. Massey plays between the defender Beck's legs, and that gets a big rise out of the Taylor students. Landis heads it down to Thompson. Into space to Libby Thomas. One defender closing in from the right side. She won't beat Thomas there. Thomas trying to turn the corner end line. Centers it. Blocked back. Thomas dancing with it. Shoots still trying to clear it away. Bethel did. And then driving in hard away from pressure was the back line of BU. Looked to be Carnera. Samini running through 2 different tugs on her arm as she deals off to Thompson. She wants to go from distance and almost put it into the top shelf as Schubert got it, then flung it away with her fingertips. Nobody for either team was nearby as Schubert leapt and kept it away from the top shelf and was able to get back to her feet and pick up the ball off the turf. Fifth save of the night for Schubert. Long ball through all the way back to the Taylor keeper, Brackenbury. Nine minutes left to go here. Sophie Snyder ready to check back in. Thomas, who's been all over the field offensively for Taylor tonight, almost had a chance to set up Grimm once again. Long pass, a foot race far side. Landis trying to get back for TU. Good play back to the middle, looks like to be Mihout. Her centering pass by Goebel deflected off the arms of Mihout. Hernandez tried to bully her way through. Lambden working to her right foot, long range try, read by Brackenbury and stopped with ease. Through traffic off the back foot by Lambden, and easy work there for Brack. Thomas, a deft touchdown, but traffic was around her and Bethel able to turn it back. Mihout on the far sideline. Lane is trying to force her to the middle and does. Collins read it, couldn't poke it away from Lena Thomas. Now Thomas weaving through her long-range try, goes off the crossbar and somehow stays away as it went off the top of the bar and went straight down onto the turf and outside the goal line. Time is called as Kiana Seifert, Sophie Snyder re-enter for Taylor. Mara Frankie and Giulia Carnero return for BU, replacing Hernandez and Lambden. 7:25 and winding here in half 2. The penalty kick for Bethel has brought them back to within a deuce after Grimm scored twice and Thompson capped it off. The 7-minute goal flurry for the Trojans here earlier tonight in this second half. Dempsey's clearance deflected into row 1 down to our left. Time, the friend of Taylor right now. It went off of Taylor, and so Beck throws it in 5 yards inside midfield. She'll get an extra 5 walking it forward. Threw it in too far for Bodewin to get to. Massey up near midfield over the head of Snyder. Here comes Goebel. flashing forward and into the center circle, and Collins. Not a lot of defenders back, but enough with the knee of Beck to deny another look to Grimm. Carnero, who scored the equalizing tally back in the first half. Goebel wins the challenge, and now nobody home to try to stop Grimm. Looking for the hat trick is Grimm. Passing to the middle. Here comes Snyder, just off of her left foot. Still fighting for it, still loose. Snyder steps in, shot was blocked. But before Snyder can let it go, she's whistled for the foul as they whistle her for taking down Martz illegally. 9th foul against Taylor, and back behind the play is Julia Carnero, the first goal scorer tonight here for Bethel. They have not moved the sports medicine staff onto the field just yet. That's good because that would mean Carnero would have to exit. She's stretching right now. Looks like she's trying to put her shoe back on. 6:03 is where the second half clock stops. 4-2, the Taylor lead right now. 3 Taylor second half goals, Grimm, and then Thompson in about a 7-minute window. This goal kick cut off by Snyder. Backpedaling is Schubert. Snyder, big touch to greatness, shoots far side, money in the bank! And Sophie Snyder pushed the Taylor lead back up to 3 with less than 6 to go here.
Goal for the Tigers, number 8, Sophie Snyder.
Third one of the year for the senior Snyder. 5-2, the Taylor lead. And 5:45 is what the second half clock reads right now. Thomas to the far side and out of play. That all started with the low goal kick up from Jael Schubert, the keeper. And a good work by the Trojans, particularly Snyder, to read it. As she and Grimm and Thomas, too, have put Bethel on their heels defensively since about the 65-minute mark of the match tonight. Aaliyah Billings trying to make her debut tonight here for BU. Dempsey drives this thing through the upland night sky. Far side wanted Seifert. Too far away as Martz lets it roll out and gets ready for the throw-in. Entering is Billings. She takes a spot of Baudouin.
Leah Billings.
Goebel has to go off of her foot and out of play far side. Someone is very excited to down below us. Seifert hustling, weaving her way around defenders. Couldn't get to the ball cleanly as Bethel drives it up the far sideline. Samini out of trouble's way, but it's a Mehoot throw-in for Bethel. Look at Landis, her first game in a couple of weeks. Trying to knock the rust off here with less than 4 to go in regulation. Taylor ahead by 3. Trying to pick up their 10th win of the season and break the tie with this Bethel Pilot team as this ball shot wide. Brackenbury wanted to make sure it went wide as she kicked it out across the end line. Karina Kern was ready to come in. She will stay on the sideline. Naomi Diller was going to go in for Taylor. And our lead official, Doug Ferguson, putting Naomi Diller back, and they're going to stop the clock with 3:22. Our assistant official down below us, Eddie Chio, looked to be summoning Diller onto the field. So Diller will have to wait on the sideline here with Kern of Bethel. Gabby Siren and another BU player came in recently here for the Pilots. Corner kick far side for BU, down 3. That one curled out of play before it curled back into play. And it's a goal kick for the Trojans, and now Naomi Diller can't enter, to the raucous ovation of her fellow Taylor students down below us. She replaces Lauren Collins, who was really, really strong tonight for Taylor. Collins with the assist on the Thompson goal, but she has been a real pest in the Bethel defense's side here this evening, particularly here in the second half. Good passing here from Bethel. Dempsey able to flick it away. Here's Seifert. Going to play keep away from Carnero. Second defender comes to help. Bashes it forward. Snyder. Foot race here with Harfuch to the end line. Harfuch plays it off of Snyder's foot, and off the end, across the end line it goes. And a goal kick for Bethel, and entering is Karina Kern. For the Pilots, with less than 2.5 minutes to go here. Taylor leading 5-2. We were 1-1 at half. Then in a 7-minute window, Grimm scored twice. Thompson added the cherry on top of that flurry. And it was 4-1 Trojans. A PK was awarded to the Pilots after a handball against Dunham inside the 18. Lurch put it home for BU. They were down by 2. But then about 7 minutes later, it was Sophie Snyder who took advantage of a short goal kick, and she buried it. And Taylor's lead back up to 3 here with 1:50 left. Here's Diller. Local kid. Miss hits it off of her right foot, and out of play it goes. Alina Sell, Parker Bauman, and Jessica Wilker all come in here for BU with less than 90 seconds left to go here in the second half. Grimm heads this one down to Snyder on the goal kick again from Schubert. But it's a hold there against Harfuch. And a free kick for the Trojans with 1 minute to go here in the second half.
One minute.
So 3-woman wall will march 10 yards back, and Bethel just having the time drip away here with Taylor ahead by 3. Massey from 25 yards away, near side of the field. Right foot towards goal, sails and goes over the crossbar and through the football goalposts. 25 seconds left, and all that's left is the final seconds of the second half clock to tick down here.
10, 9, 8,
Diller to the middle. This one goes through, back to the near side. And that brings this one to a close. It was tied at 1, but that 7-minute window where it was 2 Grimm goals and a Thompson tally put Taylor ahead 4-1. And after the PK that Lurch buried brought the Pilots back to within a deuce. The goal from Sophie Snyder
Taylor returns to action Saturday.
makes it a 5-2 final. Also good to see Rachel Landis, the talented sophomore defender, back out there for Taylor after missing the last couple of weeks. So Dempsey gets her first goal on a PK, the first goal for her this season. The 2 from Grimm are 3 and 4 on the year. Thompson gets number 4, and Sophie Snyder gets her 8th tally of the season. Assist tonight, Libby Thomas and Lauren Collins. That's LC's 3rd and LT's 2nd. Taylor on the road Saturday night at Goshen to wrap up this week of play. The Trojans move to 10-2-1 with their win tonight. They're 2-2-1 and have 7 points in Crossroads League play. They are now 5-1-1 here at home. Bethel drops to 5-4-4, 1-3-1 in league play, and Taylor, at the worst, takes over sole possession of 6th place in the Crossroads League tonight, still within shouting distance of making their way into the top 4 and getting a first-round match in the opening round of this year's Crossroads League tournament. Special thanks to Sam Maurer and Bryn Butchkowski, our fantastic crew tonight, and we thank you folks for tuning in here tonight as well. Final score from Turner Stadium, the Taylor Trojans break a 1-1 tie in the first half, and they win tonight by a final of 5-2 against Bethel. This has been a presentation of Taylor Women's Soccer on the Trojan Sports Network. Until we talk to you again, we say goodnight from Upland, Indiana.
Proceeding has been a presentation of the Trojan Sports Network.